Alright, so what do we got coming here? We got Mr. Shortsword. Hello, Mr. Shortsword. And his friendly local Fortebraccio Pikemen. Well, my friend, hi friend. Friend, you've made a mistake. Your mistake is putting up pikes against a longsword. And then we have Prefecture Guard, a nice blue tea unit who have a fun skill called Prefecture Drill. Who, oh my God, we killed 30 out of the 32 people in that pike unit. GG, mate. Hey boys and girls, it's KnightStalker here. Welcome along today to Sun City Siege. Check it out. I'm playing with one of my work colleagues today, Nebuchadnezzar. So this is a level 2000 match and Nebuchadnezzar's about level 600, so don't judge him too badly. Here we go. We've got, the Sun City is a notorious cavalry map, so we've got 3 sets of anti-cavalry. Been having a reasonable time with the Halberdier Sergeants lately, so I'm going to stick with those. We've got also Modao and some pikes, so we should be more than ready to deal with any sort of waves of cavalry. Looking down the list here, we've got about 1 million Nodachis. That's not surprising given how overtuned they've become. And of course all the people who were playing pike because it was the most meta weapon are now playing the new most meta weapon. Yeah. Anyway, we've got a beautiful loading and animation. Let's get underway and we'll just sort of see if we can grab some siege gear and grab some points to get in. Are the lads coming? They are. That's good. They are coming. That is good. Alright, this is my favourite cannon. If you're a new player, one of the things I suggest to you is when you're shooting cannons and things at the start of the match like this, always try and grab the same cannon. That way you'll know the aiming points a lot better over time. So, you know, that one there's my second favourite cannon. Whoops. So I know the aiming points for most of these cannons very well because I practice with the same one as often as I can. So that's definitely something you could be doing if you're a new player. Oops. There we go. Cannons always make you look bad though. They never seem to go where you're aiming. Especially when it's a sandstorm, right? Oh my goodness, this is the immortal cannon. Could be worse, I guess. Right, we splashed in, that's good. We got ping, ping, ping. Yes, people are attacking our peasants. So what? I always love it when people take cavalry out of the gate at the start of the match because it puts them 1 unit of cavalry down at the end of the match. So unless you're doing a mission or to get a certain amount of kills, like say you have to get 200 kills with cavalry or something like that. What's going on? Oops. You really shouldn't do this because it almost invariably ends up, you know, you kill, what, 1 unit of peasants, half a unit of peasants, and you lose your cavalry unit. And more often than not, even if you get double that amount of peasants, you still lose your cavalry unit. 240 to 315 leadership, 340 leadership, all for what? 230 230 leadership units of peasants, or 40 leadership units of peasants. Looks like they managed to get away with it this time, but it's just not worth it, man. I tell you what. So, let's finish what the little boy started and we'll just get this pushed in. If any cavalry come out of that gate again, we've got a very, very nasty surprise for them. Halberdier Sergeants, while still being a relatively weak unit after the cavalry changes and we've had them toned down a bit, they are certainly a lot better against cavalry than they were before. And one of the best things about the Halberdier Sergeants is how quickly they'll chop down a hero. You do not want to be a hero alone in a unit of Halberdier Sergeants. So they're doing the sally out thing on the other side there too. It looks like they're going to give us the advantage because it very much is the advantage if you kill all their cavalry in the first 1 minute of the game. So we need to be a little bit careful here. We've got javelins up top which we don't really want to get shot by. I believe I saw a musket too. Not entirely sure. But yeah, bro, just move your unit away. They're gonna get killed, man. Charge! Womp. Alright, so relatively fair exchange. We get a couple of cavalry for 1 Halberdier Sergeant, and that's exactly what we want. Bro, move your unit. Yes, unfortunately, rather limited in what units he has available. So we're capturing A and B now. I just want to sort of open the door so our cavalry can get inside. Hopefully that'll do some good things for us. So while we're waiting, we're just going to make some observations, and to hell with this, I guess. Kicking down again. That's right. Get that pole dancer. Put him in the middle of the infantry. The middle of the infantry. Alright, so let's go, I guess. Completely abandoned the plan to open the gate. I don't think we need it at this point. We can just swing around to B quite happily. There's another pole dancer. Let's go. So obviously the most important thing is to capture the points. Never forget that when you're playing. You see over and over and over again on the scoreboards, you've got people who have absolutely zero participation points, which means they might have got a few kills here and there, but they contributed absolutely nothing to the team actually winning the game. And the more of you that are on the capture point, the faster it goes. So the quicker you can, or the less time that the enemy has to counter-attack on you, and the quicker you can get back to, well, murdering or taking the next supply point or joining the battle. So be a team player. Make sure that you are participating in the captures wherever possible. It is, of course, the entire purpose of the game. And there are so many people who seem to think that that is not important. So what we got here? An easy kill. That is a lot of stuff. I can see on the map we've sort of pushed through the gate on the left hand side now that we've defeated the cavalry and things outside. So some of the people here are starting to peel off from the supply point and going to sort of deal with that threat there. So as soon as we've got something heavy in front of us, we might come down. So have to be careful, because we're coming around here, we might actually get hit in the back. See how the Halberdiers can actually rotate when they're braced? Ow, get away from me. How about we Halberdier you? What do you reckon? Watch how quickly these guys... Oh, just Nadachi. Nadachi is fine now, except for the excessive, truly excessive lifesteal. You can't last forever though. There we go. Axie boys. Oh, there's cavalry coming in and we don't have enough time to brace, so we're going to have to sidestep. Hopefully these other Halberdiers will turn around. It's cool. What we really didn't want to do there is sort of be out of brace while the cavalry are coming in. And these Axe Raiders have decided that they're going to throw their lives away for absolutely nothing. I have no idea why he thought going in there was a good idea. Who is doing that and why? That had to be our own team who just bombed us. Which of course makes perfect sense, and everyone should be bombing their own team. Here comes more cavalry. We've got time this time and it's all over for them. Well, the enemy team is absolutely dead set on throwing away their cavalry at the start of the battle, and I'm okay with that. Lol. So, I'll swap out, because we've already got half a unit of Heli Sergeants. You know what? Let's Modao it. So let's go. Alrighty, so Modao are the preeminent anti-cav unit in the game. If you don't have this unit and you are suffering cavalry problems, get this unit and your cavalry problems will typically go away fairly rapidly. The number one ability puts them in an immediate brace that does rotate, just like the Halberdier Sergeants. You still don't want to get charged in the back because it takes them a little bit of time once they realise the cavalry is there to actually turn around, so make sure you can face them in the right direction if you have that possibility. Number two is an immediate stab. They'll take a step forward and try and stab. See how we can knock this guy off his horse? That might actually end up getting him killed. Yes, Stillblade's got one. Different guy, but never mind. Oh, we got the kill. And number 3 is like a charge, a Modao charge, and it's filthy. It's very, very nasty. And when you get things like Modao on Modao, what you typically want to do is be in the brace while they do their charge and then countercharge them. So that's kind of just one of those things that is handy to do. That's how I find I get work out of them anyway. So we got some Shinjis back there, and everybody knows Shinjis are BSOP. So we'll just deal to them quite nicely, provided they forget to move. There we go, that's what we like to see. Dead cheese gunners. More dead cheese gunners. Unfortunately, Shinjis being so powerful as they are, they've sort of contributed to seeing far too many of them in the meta. It's borderline OP, right? The grenade is OP. Just the way it works, because you get 3 units of Shinjis and a unit of Tercios, and they're pretty much unstoppable. They just snipe stuff so hard, it's ridiculous. So that's why you tend to see these big clusters of muskets and things walking around at the moment. So I don't know how if they plan on fixing that, but just stand on here if nobody's going to defend it. And we actually need some ranged ourselves, because what we can do is, while we're standing on this point here and forcing them to defend it, we would like to preferably see some ranged units doing damage to them. So Modaos versus Iron Reapers is not ideal. You'll typically win if you've got your hero involved, but you lose too many of your Modaos. Just kick this guy off so we can keep capturing a little. I've got to be careful very much not to get caught here. Oh, that was a miss. And see how they all charge in? They're looking to knock me down and pin me. Let's be careful. Cav coming in behind. We have Modao, so it's no problem. Just kind of, oh, here's the same problem I was telling you about. Stab, overhead strike, brace. Oh, stab and brace. Alright, well, we got them because we had a whole bunch of support, but as you can see, we lost half the unit, which is not ideal. We just want to be jumping on this point as often as we can. This might be it. I might be dead here. This is exactly what I was saying I needed to avoid before. Fortunately, we have the shield bash ability. Hopefully Neb can get out of there as well. He is also a longsword, and everybody knows that longsword is strong sword and very, very hard to kill. So we're suffering a bit here. The unit attrition is pretty bad, but if we can keep stealing little bits of capture like this, we might end up okay. That was an interesting move, but I think they might be effective actually, taking out those gunners, which is exactly what we need, of course. Let's see if we can support them at all. Not really. That was a bit of a waste of some Modao. They would have been better off, I think, just hanging out on the point and helping defend these 40s, but mistakes were made. This guy's also made a mistake because we knock him down and the houndsmen murder him. Easy peasy. Right. We've got a big brawl there. I think I'll go and get some more troops because we're eventually going to run out. Here we go. We've got a couple of ranged units coming through now. You do want a couple of ranged units. You just don't want all ranged units, you know. Before you pull a ranged unit, have a check of your team like this, see what they've got out. And it's always a good idea to go, okay, well, if you've got more than 3 or 4 ranged units, don't pull another ranged unit because you're just typically gimping your team. Ranged units don't push, right? They defend okay, but you don't want to have all defenders either, because the enemy, you know, pull out a unit of shields and just walk them in, and none of your ranged units do anything. Except, of course, the Shinjis who knock down the entire ranged unit, and that's why they're not at all OP. So, let's get going. Here's some cavalry here. I like cavalry when I've got pikes. We'll just annihilate them. Happy, happy. Combined arms. So, oh, Sildars, that is not ideal. Kill that guy, please. The reason we're going to come out of the brace against the Sildars is, you know, they work well in brace because they stun the Sildars because they've got the stun doctrine on them. But if the Sildars do get in with hero support and things like that, when your unit of Fortebraccios is all blocked up, too many of them get knocked down at once and they're unable to fight back, right? So I find sometimes, what's going on? Hello, server? Game? Okay, so we probably lost more than we needed to there, just simply because, well, the servers are terrible, so whatever. We'll try and duck underneath. We did, we managed it. You see, we ducked underneath the grenade arc there, and they missed us. And now we'll come in here and we'll kill the rest of the Shinjis. Huzzah! So we've already killed a unit of Silidars with this unit. We've already killed half a unit of Katas and now half a unit of Gunners. So these guys have got their money's worth. What we do now want to do is poke holes in lots of here. Oh my goodness, that was an excellent Reaper charge. Holy heck, where'd they come from? Call the hospital quick, man, because that move was sick. And that's, well, that is heavy cavalry charge. So let's go get the rest of our unit. Excuse me, you need to die before we do that. Get him. Get him. Oh my god. Now Darchi went from underpowered to overpowered real fast. Never mind. So let's go. We have a half unit of Heli Sergeants left, so that is probably going to be what we pull, given that we have no other options. We have a small problem in that we're running out of troops, and the enemy is not. I would have liked to have seen some of the mid-classes, some of the, you know, the Nadachis and things like that, actually do a flank here, where we're just constantly trying to batter through the front line. You know, the Mauls and the Longswords and the Short Swords should be trying to do that, but some of the lighter classes should be taking some flanking units around the ends, and that will just take some of the focus off the boys, you know. So we've got some cavalry coming in, we'll deal to those, hopefully. Just look at that. That lifesteal is unbelievable. It's just far, far too much, Booming, if you're listening. It's far, far too high. I'm trying to work with the shields here, but I don't know if we're going to do it. So look at that. Went from half health back to full health instantly. It's just not okay, you know. It is what it is, though. I haven't got a treb. I used it already on the Shinjis earlier. So I don't really know what to do from here. What do we do? What do we do? I don't think we're going to win this one, boys and girls. Oh, we killed that piece of wood and it counted as an artillery kill. Go figure. Look, you can actually destroy these. It's quite difficult. If you set like a polearm unit up behind it, they'll just chip it away constantly. But some of them count as artillery kills and some of them don't. Short Sword's given up. He knows he's got no hope whatsoever of killing me, so that's that. And with 31 seconds on the clock and no troops, I ain't think we're going to do this, man. Let's do it anyway. This is going to result in my death, but nobody ever called me a coward before. Well, they probably did, but I'm not. YOLO! I can't even stand up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We've even got one of our team members who contributed nothing. He hasn't. It's a short sword who has not once been on the capture points. Screw that guy. Oh, we got MVP. That's real nice. What's that? Oh yeah, we killed that thingy bob. So we did 1.1 million damage. We took 2.2 million damage, which is really quite a bit. Nice spread of kills there, including a whole bunch of Katas. Not terrible game, right? Pretty damn good. 40s did great killing those Silidars and all those cavalry. So Heli Sergeants also so good. Modao unfortunately got reapered. But we did get the MVP. GG to the team, even though we lost that one. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Anyway, boys and girls, I hope you learned something new or you just enjoyed the battle. Thank you so much for coming to my channel.